ta'ala, and the time for namaz came, and there was an alim and a wali, and the namaz, Hazrat, aap padha, aap padha, and until, the alim went forward, he said, no, hum alim hai. I am the qari, I am the mufti, I am the sheikh, I should lead the namaz, and he went forward. The wali, the awliya, Allah, humble people. He said, no problem, Hazrat, zarur. They said, who's going to make namaz? The alim said, hum alim hai. So, okay, bismillah, you lead. When the namaz was finished, the qari, the imam was a qari also, the Maulana, Sheikh, Mufti, he was very proud of his qiraat. He said to the wali, he said, how was my qiraat? He said, the alim said, mashallah. He said, mashallah, you enjoyed the namaz? The wali said, no, I didn't. So the alim said, how can you say that? Be careful of what you're saying. It's kufr. How can somebody say that I didn't enjoy my namaz? That is haram, that is kufr. But why do you say that, Ya Hazrat? The wali said, the qiraat was nice. Top qiraat, mashallah, award-winning qiraat. Egypt, Indonesia, Malaysia, dunya bhar mein, mashallah, top qiraat. But when you started the namaz, I wanted to be with Allah, but you took me to the supermarket. And then you did all your grocery shopping, and you were trying to remember the list your wife gave you. And then you stopped at the garage and you remembered to fill your petrol up also. And then you did this, and you went home, and that, and then you came back. Ye kaisi namaz padha di tumne? The wali said to the alim, what kind of namaz you led me? I'm not impressed by the qiraats. I was thinking I'm going to go with your dil, with my dil, we will travel to Allah. But tumhara dil to Allah ke paas hai nahi. Your heart was not with Allah at all throughout that namaz. You took me to the market and the shop and the home and the friend and the garage, where else you took me? Because when I stand behind an imam, my heart is connected to that imam. Alim ke aankhon mein aansu aa gaye. The alim started crying. He said, Ya Allah, I make tawbah from ever standing in front of a wali of yours. Ye maqam wali ka hai. We stand behind alims, whatever, we stand behind them, not ahead of them. He said, subhanallah, the alim then said, if I had to stand behind the wali, maybe his heart would have taken my heart to Allah. Wali ke aage nahi badhna. Don't go forward because of your knowledge. They are the ones who are connected to Allah. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. We had a beautiful mahfil-e-sama. And a word about that. People sometimes question these things. The mahfil-e-sama is the practice of the awliya Allah. And usually, it is a technical point. People say qawwali and sama. These are two terms. And what do they mean? People think they mean the same thing. They don't mean the same thing. Although they refer to something common. Qawwali is from qawl. It means the recitation. Qawwali means recitation. To recite the qawl. The qawl of who? The qawl of the awliya Allah.
Ameen, ameen.
The awliya kiram, they have written many poems. And it's very important that our qawwals recite the kalam of the awliya. Unke kalam mein barakat hoti hai. वैसे तो लिखने वाले बहुत हैं आजकल, ये भी वो भी, anybody writes a nas, and there's nothing wrong in singing anything if it's good. But to sing the kalam of a wali, there is a ruhaniyat in that. Hazrat Bedam Shah Warsi, Hazrat Ambar Shah Warsi, और ये अकाबिर जो गुजरे हैं, इनके कलाम जो थे, हजरत अमीर खुसरो, इनके कलाम जो हैं, इनमें रूहानियत कूट-कूट के भरी है. These hearts didn't come out of the mind of a shair. These kalams did not come out of the mind of a shair, of a poet. They came out of the heart of a wali. Wali ke dil se. So to recite the qawl of the wali, that is called qawwali. Qawwali is a recitation, and therefore qawwali is only done by the qawwal. But to listen to that qawl and absorb it and understand it, that is called sama. Sama. Sama means to hear. Sama, sunnah. Allah ka naam is Sami', the listening one. He hears everything. Sama is to hear the qawwali. So when we say mahfil-e-sama hone wali hai, there is a gathering of sama taking place. People think it means a gathering of qawwali. Yes, it's qawwali included in that, but sama means a gathering of listening, where you are to listen to those words of the wali and absorb them in you, and they become your hal. And the hal of the wali which is then incorporated by the qawwal, becomes your hal as well. The hal in which, the state in which the wali wrote that kalam, then that state enters into you as well. And we try for that state to enter into us. And when that hal fully takes over you, that's when you go into a hal. That's when you go into the hal of the wali. Bagar baat ye hoti hai, the problem is, the wali could handle that hal. But when his hal enters into you, you can't handle it anymore, and then you start jumping and screaming and rotating and rolling. Ye baat samjhane ki hai. Many people don't understand this. Why, when the qawwali and the sama happens, why some people go into a hal, when they are overtaken, why they roll on the floor, why they jump, why they scream. That is because the hal of the wali has entered on them, but they can't handle. The wali could handle it. Wali to pahad se zyada taakatwar hota hai. The wali is stronger than a mountain. He can handle it, but when it goes into you and me, we cannot handle it, and the hal, we go into a hal. The wajd. And people say, "Ha, bhai, ye Huzur ke zamane mein tha kya? Was this in the time of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam?" Yes, it was. When our Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam entered into Medina, how was he welcomed? He was welcomed by the qawwali. It doesn't matter the instrument, what you put a mic, you don't put a mic, but the concept is the same. He was welcomed by the QAWAALS. He was welcomed by the men and women of Medina singing. And they were using an instrument as well. They were using the drums, because that is the instrument they used to have in Medina at that time. They didn't have these other things, they had that one. They were singing and they were beating the drums and singing Tala al-Badru alayna, welcoming our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in Medina. He didn't stop them. Did he stop them? Did he condemn them? Did he say haram, not allowed, bid'ah, shirk? He listened and he enjoyed. तो ये कव्वाली सुनाना सहाबा की सुन्नत और उसको सुनना नबी की सुन्नत. The sama, he heard them and he thanked them for that. And that is why it was the practice of the awliya Allah that their murids used to come and sing for them. And they would listen to it. And this silsila of the murids singing for their sheikh and the other murids and them listening continued until the time of Khaja-e-Khajagan, Hazrat Khaja Mu'inuddin Chishti. In his time, when he went into Hindustan, the sama used to happen in his silsila. But there in Hindustan, many people entered into Islam. And that time, the Hindus, they used to sing these bhajans. They used to sing, they call it bhajan, the hymns. They used to sing these songs to their idols, to their bhagwans. They used to sit with their harmoniums and their tablas and they used to sing. And when they came into Islam, they asked Khaja Sahab, we are now Muslims, but this is our profession. We sing, we are singers. What do we do now? We don't know anything else. He said, no, you can continue singing the way you sing, but don't sing for the idols. Sing for Allah and His Habib. Sing for your mashayikh. Sing for your awliya. Praise Allah, praise the Nabi, His Nabi. Praise your awliya-i-kiram. And the bhajan became into the qawwali, and it is through that qawwali that they used to sing that millions of people came into Islam. We are the descendants of those people. They came into Islam. Many a Hindu, when he sees these people sit down to sing, they sit down, they say, we're going to hear about Ram and Krishna and Ganesh. But the qawwal sings about Allah. Allah hi Allah kiya karo, dukh na kisi ko diya karo. Jo malik hai dunya ka, जो मालिक है दुनिया का, नाम उसी का लिया करो. अल्लाह है अल्लाह. हिंदुस्तान को इस तरह फतह किया उन्होंने. This is how they won the hearts of Hindustan to Islam. Leave your Ram and Sita and Bhagwan and Ganesh and Allah hi Allah kiya karo. And then they sing about our Nabi. And they sing about the awliya-i-kiram. And that is how they brought the people of Hindustan into Islam. They brought the people of Hindustan, Pakistan, those lands, Bangladesh, all of that came into Islam through this Mahfil-e-Sama. This Mahfil-e-Sama has a favor on us that we cannot forget. So brothers and sisters in Islam, to conclude, the Mahfil-e-Sama is an honorable gathering. And once again, we want to remind everyone to maintain the adab and the akhlaq in the Mahfil-e-Sama. It's not a musical concert. It is a spiritual gathering held with the objective of creating spirituality in the heart. It's not about the tabla, it's not about the harmonium, it's not about the tali. It's not even about the naghma. it is about the hal of the wali and the kalam of the wali entering your heart. Isliye Hazrat Maulana Jalaluddin Rumi, he said, Khushk taro, khushk chobo, khushk post, us asku jami ayadi awaaz dost. They asked him, he said in Persian, he said whenever he would come out of the mahfil of Sama, he would say, there is something I can't understand. He would cry and recite this verse in Farsi, in Persian. He would cry and recite that. They would ask, why are you crying, Hazrat Maulana Jalaluddin Rumi? After the mahfil of Sama, he would say, Khushk tar. He said the strings of the harmonium or the guitar or whatever that is, those strings are dry and dead. You know, the string is alive, not alive, it can't say anything, can't speak. The strings are dry. Khushk taro, khushk chob. The wood is dry, the wood can't talk to you, that wood cannot talk to you. Khushk post. And the glue and all that things and workings that keeps it together, that is also dry. These are all dead items. The tar, the string, the wood, the glue, all of that is dry. But, he says, but one thing I cannot understand. Askujami ayadi awaaz, yet I hear the sound of my Rabb from it. Yet I hear the sound of my Rabb from it. He said, there's the wood, this tar, this. He says, but I hear the voice of my Rabb from it. Dost ki awaaz aati hai wahan se. So, brothers and sisters, we are not here to listen to the qawwal, we are hearing this awaaz dost. Hearing the sound of our Rabb, the call of our Rabb. How many, there were hals of awliya Allah. Khaja Qutbuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki, he died while listening to qawwali. Because one of those kalams went through like a tear, went through like an arrow into him. He says, when he heard that kalam, ab to dunya khatam ho gayi. He said, when he heard that kalam, he said, this effect had such an effect on him. He said, now I cannot remain in the dunya anymore, I must be with Allah. And he died right there. Log samjhe hal mein aa gaye. People thought he went into his unconscious in the love of Allah. Usually people become unconscious when the jalal of Allah is mentioned. They realize, he has left the dunya completely. This is how they used to be. And then people say, Sahaba-i-Kiram, yes, in the Sahaba-i-Kiram, when the Quran Sharif sometimes used to be recited, they used to faint. Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu anh, Hazrat Umar radiyallahu anh, they say when he would read the Quran and when he reads some of the ayat that talk about Allah's Jalal, he would scream and faint in the middle of the Salah. When our Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told Abu Bakr must lead namaz in my place when he was ill in his last days, what did his daughter Sayyida Aisha, Sayyidina Abu Bakr's daughter and our Nabi's wife, alayhi salam, what did she say? He said, Ya Rasulullah, are you sure you want my father to lead the namaz? He said, why do you ask that? She said, because he can't read 3 ayahs without breaking down. This hal of understanding, they used to understand Arabic, you understand Urdu or other language, but the concept of understanding Allah's Jalal and then breaking down because of it, that is coming from the time of the Sahaba. Their hearts were soft. Today the hearts have become hard. Brothers and sisters in Islam, let us soften the hearts again by zikrullah, by salawat on Rasulullah, by visiting the mazars of the awliya Allah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala soften all our hearts, fill our hearts with the love of the awliya kiram, love of our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, love of the Ahl Bayt, love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for that is the purpose of life. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله وأصحابه أجمعين وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. شكرا. खंदल शरीफ सुनाए नूरे नजर अहमद मुख्तार का संदल है आज लखते जी का संदल है आज Thank you.